Hello everyone, Tom here with another video presentation. So I did this pen and ink study in the classroom with my students, and because I felt so good about it, I decided that I would give it a shot as a watercolor. So that's going to be our demonstration for this video. Let's see how it all goes. So I started out with actually using some water-soluble pens, and I quickly just sketched in some marks, trying to mark the boundaries of things, and now I'm coming in with the watercolor and just kind of filling in. Okay, sort of like a coloring book, if you will. Anyway, so right now, as I'm putting in the color of those red canopies, which is really for me the focal point of this painting, the goal is to help it look and feel just as natural as possible. This is kind of an unusual subject for me, choosing to paint something with figures in it. I'm typically not a figure person, but I figure I'd give it a try. Ha ha ha. Don't quit your day job, Tom. Okay, so just quickly blocking things in, laying in the elements. Now, I am going completely off script here. In the past, you've heard me preach, top to bottom, light to dark, back to front, and general to specific. Well, I'm totally throwing that right out the window. So my rule, remember, and this is a great illustration of it, this is a rule of thumb. It's not an absolute, irrefutable law written on the gates of heaven. This is something that is helpful for an artist in doing their work, but is not always necessary. And so you're watching me paint really the main subjects of this particular painting, which is first the canopies and then the figures that you see starting to be developed. So that's kind of goes against everything I've taught so far, and yet it can work. So this is just a painting in the end. Whatever means or method is necessary for you to get to a point of completion and success with it, do that. But try to draw by hand. Try to draw naturally. Try not to trace. Let your own skill be what it is. And if you don't feel you're skilled enough, work on those skills. Take what you feel is your weakness, attack it, and make it your strength. So I'm going through and carefully delineating the light and shade patterns of those canopies. You can see in the photo inset I'm certainly interpreting with regard to my use of color. I've got kind of a cool red laid down there, mostly with that one warmer red of the one canopy being a little different, going ahead and playing with that light and just having fun with it. The challenge of trying to paint certain things is to not let them feel stiff or stodgy, and that can be a little challenging. But what I like to do is, if I have a significant amount of yellow in my painting, I will actually paint the yellow first, pretty fully and pretty completely, for the sake of making sure that I don't risk contaminating that yellow with other colors that may already be down there. And as I paint my yellow up next to them, it could easily reconstitute the edge of that color and have it bleed into the yellow. The yellow is the most easily contaminated color on the palette. If you ever watch a child get a hold of a perfectly good, clean Crayola watercolor paint set, just watch what happens to that yellow. It dies a quick and horrible death. So yellow is a color that has to be protected very carefully. And that's actually what I'm doing in the mixing process as well as in the painting process. Again, I've said this before, but this is drawing. Different medium, different tool, but it is all still drawing. So keep that in mind. I first sketched it out with careful, sketchy pencil lines, and then I came in with a few key marker lines. They were water-soluble markers. They were done with Tombow brand pens. I'm not trying to plug that brand. It's just a brand of pen that I have, and sort of got it for the sake of the name. But as I'm working with it, I'm discovering what it can and will do for me and what it won't do for me. So it's just a tool in my quiver. And the goal in the end is really to create a special and unique work of art. This is a process that takes time. Invest the time. And you have no idea how much of this I've actually cut out and have edited out for the sake of speed and getting through the painting in a timely fashion, so you can watch this and glean something from it without being too bored, shall we say. All right, well, I think I'm to the point where I'm just going to turn you over to the music, let you listen to that while you watch the painting take place, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the music and that you learned some things from watching this process of making this painting along the way. Again, a very unconventional piece compared with my usual way of starting a painting. So always remember there's more than one way to do anything in visual art. So keep that in mind and just let your own creativity be your guide. Right now, as I'm laying in these patterns of the leaves of the trees up above, I'm having fun playing with marks and textures, getting the paper covered with interesting light and dark passages, working wet into wet, and establishing the patterns as they need to be in order to say what is going on in this piece. I feel pretty good about this, although I feel like I want to do a little bit larger painting, so I think that is probably in me at some point in the future. So we'll see how that goes, but right now I'm feeling pretty satisfied with what I have here. And I hope that you've like I said, picked up some good information. Working very lightly with the branches and the twigs of the tree as it is finally starting to come together. All right, well, thanks for coming along for the ride. I hope you enjoyed the process. Take care. Have yourselves a great day.